All right, so we're looking at Cakewalk Dimension Pro. It's a sample-based synth, but it's also sort of hybrid in that a lot of the samples it does come with are wavetables, and Cakewalk's kind of been experimenting with that when they got RGC Audio, when they bought out RGC Audio. Those guys were really into different types of wavetable synthesis, and so they sort of integrated that into their sample library. But a really important thing to remember about Dimension Pro is that it does play samples, and they've included some large files, particularly for piano. That's of particular interest, it seems, to people. So we're going to take a listen to one of the larger 230 megabyte piano samples. Unfortunately, we don't have a sustain pedal, but
I'll do my best.
Yeah. Get a little more. Let's try one of the other ones. They also have some more interesting
nice,
one. They have one called Saloon Balloon. I'm interested in hearing that. So the saloon piano. A mini piano inside of a room. So it's like an upright.
Right.
I like how certain piano samplers have been doing that lately, actually. I know acoustic piano did it. Just smaller pianos for more interesting sounds.
Yep.
Could be used in sound design as well. For on-camera music or on-screen music. But yeah, those are a few of the pianos. There's a bunch of different stuff. Another one of the sampling things that's people have been interested in is the Garrison Pocket Orchestra it comes with. Let's check out some of the string sections, because those are my particular favorite.
Let's do it.
Do full strings, long bows. So sort of a string pad.
I don't know. It sounds kind of
it's so hit or miss. This thing
16-bit.
This thing is
Super Nintendo to me.
A little bit.
This thing is so hit or miss. It's not even funny.
Let's try the pizzicato. I think if we were listening on larger speakers, we might hear it a little differently.
I use Reason most of the time, or when I did use it, and I got a whole lot of sample libraries from a previous enterprise that I worked for, and they were phenomenal. Like they were true.
Go back to longbows.
They were true, like 4 gigabyte, like.
Yeah, these are only 12 megabyte. That's why it's called Garrison Pocket Orchestra. Let's check out some of the other stuff on here.
All right.
Perhaps a musical groove.
Musical groove, huh?
A musical groove.
Is this a hold key Funkasaurus?
I'm not sure exactly what these do, actually.
Dude, where's that clavinova wah?
So it's just this seems like it's like.
Oh, gotcha. Wait.
Oh, it's sort of like a Rex file almost. Maybe not. So it's got these interesting sort of sounds.
Gee, I could play with something like that. I kind of like that.
I think we're a little hot.
It's a guitar sample.
Yep.
Actually, here's some larger string samples.
Okay.
You may want to check those out. Viola's Espressivo. There we go.
It's pretty close. That's getting there. I can't get over the piano. That piano is probably the best thing about this thing.
Let's see. Let's check out a few just random other things. A dulcimer.
Interesting.
Ooh. Let's hear this.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, so this is one of the things Dimension does that we've been checking out. There's also, all these weird pads and things like that. Let's see. Let's try Dark Church. You guys ready to go to the Dark Church?
Yeah.
Hell yes.
All right.
That's cool. I like that.
So this is how they do it. So what they have is actually just a sample of a sine wave loaded in as one element, and then up here you choose different elements. So they also have an organish pad. So what they're doing is combining a wavetable with sort of just a sampled wave. And 3 and 4 are empty, but we could add in just about we could add in other waves. We could add in other sound fonts, things like that. Let's go to another.
Go to an organ just so I can laugh again.
Well, we were checking this out earlier, and we went to the organs. Found they weren't exactly the greatest. Let's try just the jazz, or let's try a Hammond, slow Hammond.
That one's actually decent.
This one's okay. I'm not into sampled organ particularly.
It's not. I mean, it's not good. Fat, especially since I just now have like
they have B4 and things like that, which I think do organ way better.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they didn't even try because they know they can't compete. Just B4 is just a great emulation.
Yeah.
Of course, they always got to add the guitar stuff. I really don't like guitar samples at all, but let's see how they do here. It's not too bad.
Your band can fire you now, Dan.
And they also have some.
Sounds more like a clavichord than a.
Here's some Les Paul chords. Let's listen to that.
Sweet.
Power chords. Gotta try it lower. Oh. Yeah, I don't like that. Well, let's see how they decay.
It's time to rock out on Gearwire Crosstalk.
The decay is alright. I don't like the attack much. But whatever. Let's get out of these guitars. Well, they just have a lot of different stuff that it comes with. One of the recent things that has happened is free expansion packs. You buy it and they release expansion packs.
Nice.
Expansion pack 1 came out a while ago. Expansion pack 2 came out just last week. And we got both of them on here. Let's check out just a couple of things from each. Twisted Waveguide. That caught my eye. Let's see. CB. Let's try whatever that one is.
It's a very slow-moving IDM kind of patch.
Yeah. Let's try something else.
Get some glitchy
Dimensions.
drums.
That's something we haven't checked out. And that might be cool to check a little bit of the programming. Unpredictable behavior. Let's try that patch. All right. So we can hear there's lots of different elements going on here.
And I'm holding one key.
Yeah. So there's a blimey wave. I don't know what that means. A saw mini. Yeah, so there's only 2 elements. Once again, there's only 2 elements in this one, but we can go up to 4. Let's take a look down here at the modulator. Try clicking on some more keys.
I've got 4 held right now.
I'm just changing the envelope with it. You can also draw like other points in by using the right mouse key. Here's this one. We can change the attack up. Try hitting some different notes. So now we have the quicker attack. We can throw on some lo-fi bit reduction on each of the elements individually. Decimation. Of course, we got the filter. You choose a bunch of different types of filters.
This is the scene in that
filter.
Italian horror movie where they get murdered.
This is the scene in every Italian horror movie. So already we're hearing lots of different
Yeah.
It looks like it doesn't. Whenever you change something, it doesn't change until you hit a new note,
Yeah.
which I kind of like. I don't know what pink filter does, but put the low pass filter back on. Check out the drive. They have a few different types of drive: tube, soft, mid, hard, asymmetric. Asymmetric is usually what you'll find in a lot of synth patches. I'll try that.
It's so 80s. I love it.
I know.
You got EQs, 3 bands of EQs per element, so up to 12 bands of EQ.
Where's Michael Jackson with his nose? We need Michael Jackson with the nose.
And we also get effects. We're getting a little bit of, I think, there we go. I'm going to turn off the first element, so we're just dealing with the second element. Effects, we got delay, ping pong, left, right, center. We got hall reverb, lots of different stuff. And then there's also another filter just for the effects. So we got a low pass filter on the effects loop, or you can put a high pass. Actually, we probably want to turn that up. Alright, so now we're hearing some of that panning delay with the high pass filter. Alright, cool. Let's check out one or two things in the newest expansion pack. This is a much larger one as far as size goes. Twisted SFZ. I kind of like that. A wet harp. That's a pretty big one. Try that out. It's not that twisted.
It's lovely though.
Yeah, it is nice. I do like harp. Harp is one of my favorite sampled instruments. Woo! Burning the keys up with the wet harp. Alright, there's a little bit weirder stuff.
1996. Come back to me.
Oh, and look, they've added more organs.
Hey,
Not a Hammond. Let's try not a Hammond. And this one's kind of alright.
This organ bores me.
How about a fake B3?
What's with that attack? That transit.
Yeah, it's not a very real attack. Let's try one more thing. The world one. Amped sitar. Well, there's some panning on there. It's a little much.
We need the delay llama.
Here's lo-fi piano. Try rubber grand. These seems like some interesting keyboard patches here under leads and keys.
Why don't they have a Mellotron emulator?
They might. All right, so that's the Dimension Pro. We took a look at what it can do. We took a look at the new expansion packs. And I don't know, what do you guys think of it?
In my opinion, just the breadth of presets and sounds alone, I mean, it's pretty intriguing. And the amount of control it offers, I don't know, I like it. What it all comes down to for me always is the sound. And something like this, you know, just in playing it, I had a lot of creative ideas while it was going. So it's pretty inspiring. I like it.
And
I
you can bring in your own sounds as well. It's a sampling
nice.
sampling
Now,
synth, which is
with that. What kind of samples does it load in? Is it?
it uses SFZ, Wave.
Okay.
I haven't tried AIFFs.
Yeah.
Assuming you can use those. OOGs or OGGs, OGs.
Yeah.
They're sort of like MP3s but lossless.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
one of the things to keep in mind is it's RGC Audio is the old company that Cakewalk bought out, and they were just doing some crazy new things with sampling synthesizers. That's kind of what right now Dimension is sort of the apex of what they've done.
Nice.
There's also Rapture and Zeta, but this is sort of the flagship right now as far as sampling goes. Rapture is sort of interesting. It's one point to bring up is that it also is sort of a sampling synth, but it only uses samples from wavetables pretty much.
Okay.
And you can use a lot of the sounds in Rapture in Dimension, and it adds like I don't know if it adds too much to it, but if you just have Dimension, you can get sounds from Rapture or things like that.
Nice. Well, yeah, I'm thumbs up. Any comments?
I think principally it's cool. I think it has a lot to be wanting. Some of the features are really nice. Some of them are just kind of cheesy. Sounds, it comes packed with sounds, so you can't really be mad about it with a lot of features and a lot of sounds and a lot of free expansion. You can't really go, you know what, this is just horrible. It's like, dude, it's an economy synth that sounds decent. So I'd say, yeah, it gets thumbs up for me.
Sweet.
Yeah, I think for things like strings or just like any sort of electronic music, this is a great synth.
Yeah, that piano's amazing. That piano's really good.
Yeah, the piano's really good. Organ's a little lacking. Some of the strings are pretty good, I think. As far as echoes, you could fool some people. We didn't really try the woodwinds, but I could say from just trying it out on my own, the woodwinds are a little, lacking. But just it's hard to get woodwinds to sound real. Like I have the East-West sampler. Okay. Still, the woodwinds aren't totally convincing.
Yeah, I've got the East-West Symphonic Silver.
That's what I got.
Okay, yeah, I love it. Yeah,
it's nice, but still the
woodwinds
certain things just you can't.
No
trumpets.
Yeah, brass is
guitar.
Impossible.
Guitar's another thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, what it does do well is like the dulcimer. That sitar was pretty cool.
Yeah, the dulcimer was pretty sweet.
The piano's great.
We didn't really go into it, but there's also like some beats in there that you can actually sort of like a Rex file where you drag out a MIDI file and it feeds into Dimension. But it's pretty cool.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that concludes the Gearwire.com Crosstalk podcast for Monday, November 6th. Once again, I'm your host, Mike Payne, and this is Dan Augusto, Britton Weatherald, Dimension Pro.
Hi, Dimension Pro.
Thank you very much.
Have a nice day.